With the Devourer in the short lane, it kind of protects Silhouette from only really working if it's against a Suicide or a two hero setup. If Doghouse does run a tri-lane bottom, I think that could be scary for the Silhouette lane. So they get the lane ward down early. If they see the heroes from Hellborn, meaning or being Doghouse, come out, they might just look to send the Magnus down there. I think that's what they're kind of looking to line up. But we're gonna have to see what they do moving forward here.
Yeah, so I actually want to point out the fact that you are wrong. Zanuki is not going to be playing Madman this game. He's playing Prisoner
Oh
instead.
my.
And
They did
Asaf.
this on purpose. Ozlef's their prisoner player. They're just showing off. These guys are so good at the game that they can all swap up heroes. And
Right.
it makes me so angry. It makes me so angry that they're so good. But yeah, typically we see Ozlef play the prisoner and Snooki plays the madman. They just swap things up. We saw Ozlef last game play carry Kronos and he was just fine. So I don't think this is anything to really overthink. But Zuki's gonna play the prisoner here with Behemoth in the long lane. Looks like Andromeda maybe gonna think about going bottom at least to start. Now they definitely could rotate the Devourer down bottom and do like a Silhouette Glacius Devo, or sorry, it's Forsaken Archer bottom. So they could definitely try lane their Forsaken Archer in the short lane, and then have Silhouette 1v1 the Hag. That's not out of the question.
I'm all eyes on Devo, by the way. He's got a Veiled Rot at level
Yeah,
1.
he's gonna stack the easy camp, rot it, get level 2, and then from there he's gonna start roaming. That's typically what we see the Devo do, because he needs hook and decay to start being a threat.
Okay.
So
Makes
early level they'll just let the hard lane face the 3, not die, and then wait for him to start making his move. So Magnus versus Madman 1v1, how do you think that one should go? You think that one's favored for either side? Maybe early on the Magnus with the touch?
I think that Magnus can definitely do work against Madman with Volcanic Touch. I think Magnus has a really good time. You know, Madman's got a little bit of poke with the stock, but you know, Magnus just really is, in my mind, favored in most melee matchups. You could see it doing work already. You know, Madman just already took make that 3 Volcanic Touches. So Magnus already picks up the battery, so just punishing Madman with every stock that he commits for harassment as well. But you're right.
Doing well so far. 5-1 against 6-2 against a 4-1 Hag. So he's even leading in creep kills so far. I think maybe once Hag picks up some levels, that might change a little bit in her favor. But for now, Puppet Soul's doing very well. And we see Devo. He got his level 2. Looks like he probably health potted up. Now he's making his way down here to make it a try versus tri lane. Oh, mid lane. Puppet Soul takes another. This was a second Sonar Scream. And now he's low HP without a health pot as we see Fa used his own health potion. He's going to start to regain control of the lane. So I think we'll definitely have to see some regen sent out. No mana for the Sonar Scream, not threatening the Silhouette currently, but you can see how he's playing very defensively there because he's on low life. Bottom lane, this is going to be the Bloodlust kill. Andro falls. Looks like we had a hook come out. Following up the freeze, I would imagine. Or just the chain CC from Legion, a little bit too much. I think maybe Behemoth was missing at the bottom rune. That's why we saw the kill come out.
So give me a little insight into the mind of a drafter here. I mean, you're one of the drafters that has targeted the Devo ban against Sunk Bob. I mean,
it's his best hero. It's his best hero.
Okay, so he's honestly just that good of a Devo.
It's just his best hero.
Okay.
We already saw there. Bloodlust kill. Prisoner goes for the blind hook. Not going to find anybody. You almost want to see them line up that fissure into the hook, but they're going to go here. Put some good pressure on the Glacius. Had they had that prison hook, that would have been a kill, but going to do some pressure. Like Prisoner's still the top farmer down here. He's got 14 and 8 in last hits against 12 and 2 of FA. Doing better. 8 denies being significant for XP.
Yeah, Magmus having a really good time in the top lane, 22-0. Madman not doing too bad, but I think Madman's just had to do a lot of region pooling because he's just taken a lot of harassment from the Magmus Lava or Volcanic Touch. But yeah, look at Puppet Soul here in the mid lane having a hard time surviving. Might die to this haunt.
Oh wow. He actually almost made a huge play with the tree grapple as Fob blinked in. Meanwhile, in the jungle, we have an engagement going on. Prisoner gets hit with the crippling volley, but lives on 20 life. The Tangos, or the Blightstones, saving Prisoner's life there. He still had the golden apple, so he did the math, and he's just fine. We saw Magnus go for the top room, gave a little bit of space over to Madman, but the creep score almost even up there in the top lane. Look at that right click from Magnus, putting in so much pressure on the Madman there. But yeah, look at the creep score, John. Hag 19-9 against 12-3 Silhouette. We saw her dominate, or not dominate, but do very well in the first couple of waves, but Hag, like I predicted, took over once she got a few levels going. Oh, Bat Blast connects mid lane. Does she have the blink scream in 1 more second? Not gonna go for it. She actually does. Needs 1 more auto attack. Kevin baited this all, and he splits with the shadow as he hits level 6. Big plays coming in from Puppet Soul. Removes the haunt debuff and stays alive, John. Bottom lane, I can't even think about what's going on down there. We have 6 heroes down there. We can't forget about that. We see Snooki go down on the Prisoner. There's another freeze into hook, the crippling volley, and all of a sudden 2 kills go in the way of DB. And this is a completely different game here in game number 2. We see DB up to a 2,000 gold lead here early on, 5 minutes in.
Yeah, this is certainly a much different game than what we saw last time. And, you know, even, of course, the Devo being, you know, kind of a wild card that we're happy to see, but you know, even Fa, who, as you said, seemed to be doing very well early on in the lane, dominating against Silhouette, just, you know, not able to connect some of these kills that he wanted to see, and he even got baited there at the end. So Silhouette right back in it, you know, matching, actually surpassing Wretched Hag on the GPM pretty significantly, 330 versus 250. So now Silhouette just in this spot where he might be the one to dominate the lane now, as, you know, now that he's got additional levels, he's got a high level Death Lotus, he's going to be able to pump out a lot of poke damage with the Relentless Salvo, so.
Bottom lane, we see a hook coming in on the Glacius from the Prisoner. There's the Fissure from Behemoth, but Andromeda a bit too far to get in range for a Comet Stun, so they don't have damage for that kill there on the Glacius. But we do see Madman porting into the bottom lane. They want to make a statement down here in this tri lane. There is a Ward of Sight placed from the Glacius here on the side of the lane. It's going to maybe spot out the Madman as he tries to get in a position here for a barrel roll. He sneaks into the tree line. We see the hook coming in on the Forsaken. Devo has the double damage and gets the counter hook, but here comes the Fissure. They bring down the Forsaken Archer, and Prisoner, he's going to survive. Devourer goes down as well, and Glacius, the only survivor down here in the tri lane, and he is all by himself, John. They're going to go for a dive here, and I think for good reason. He's juking in the trees. A nice juke coming in, but I think it will only buy him a little bit of time. There comes the Comet, and Madman, he's kind of walking in place, but he throws out the barrel roll, and Ozlef makes a great rotation down here into the bot lane. Kind of finishes off as a slow double tap, but they clean up the tri lane nonetheless. Now, it's not done just yet. Silhouette's here in the background as the ports are coming back in. She's trying to make a kill happen. She uses the shadow. She's going to go for the quick kill on this Andromeda. And Silhouette, she is very low on life. She's going to survive. Madman gets frozen up by the Glacius. And Andromeda also falls to the Devourer, so which was once a great engagement from Doghouse. DB counters with a great engagement of their own, picking off 3 players from the side. Or was it 2 players? It was the Madman and the Andromeda, looks like that.
Madman, true. Yeah, I mean, so DB just doing a really good job. You know, they were pretty far down after that 3-for-0 engagement, but it seems like they may have just lingered too long, and Silhouette was able to come in without them really knowing from the bottom rune spawn and punish their remaining presence there in the bottom lane. Behemoth gonna catch out Devourer here.
Trying to body block for Andromeda, who doesn't have boots. Great body blocks coming in from Nede. The hook is gonna line up from Snooki. No deny comes in from Devo, and they get that kill. And by the way, while we had all that stuff going on down in the bot lane, Magnus managed to pick up the tier 1 tower. He's on 1,300 gold on his way to a portal key. Fa forced to blink away down to the bot river as he saw Magnus coming in for a gank.
Yeah, this is a very different Magnus.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, piercing arrows, doing a lot of damage. Prisoner gonna survive with very low life, so Snooki once again escaping death on next to nothing in HP. Will Devour get in range for a hook? He's got the Striders activated, but creeps are blocking him. He's trying to get in range for an angle for an Andromeda hook. He goes for a wild hook there in the trees, maybe guessing that Prisoner was trying to juke him there. As we could see from our God vision, there was nobody in the area, so good attempt, but unfortunately not going to connect. Meanwhile, mid lane, Fog gets caught with the blink down, or actually no, I think he had the blink up. That was a little unfortunate as Silhouette finds himself another kill on the Hag, and Kevin already on 3 kills now. 430 gold per minute. He's the top farmer in the game. Oh my god, look at that timing as Madman came in with a stock and a barrel roll. Silhouette lives on very low life. Big credits to his vestment pickup. The Mystic Vestments keeping him alive there.
Yeah, but I'm still okay.
Done into hook bottom lane. Sorry to cut you off. Andromeda, she finishes that off with a Comet. They take out the Forsaken, so luckily for them, they have Silhouette doing well because Forsaken Archer back-to-back deaths down in the bot lane, starting to slow down a little bit.
Forsaken's still doing decent enough though. 300 GPM, 10 minutes into the game. You know, he can definitely bounce back. It's good.
Bottom lane. Oh no, Prisoner getting found by a Devourer. Devourer. He's already in 6 kills so far this game. He brings down the farming Prisoner down there.
Yeah, when you talk about the core farmers in this tri lane on either side, Prisoner versus FA. FA is the one that can kind of deal with being shut down early. Prisoner has a much harder time bouncing back, so.
Wretched Hag finding herself some farm in the jungle, but she's going to give up a lot of tower pressure here over to Silhouette, who almost brings the tower down. Devo trying to line up a hook here. There's the slow from Glacius. They don't even need the hook. They just need to walk him down, and they're just going to attack him there and bring him down. Silhouette tries to get the kill there, but she's a little late. But Duder, he finally gets the boots, so good signs for him at least.
He gets the boots, and Magnus gets the portal key.
Oh, could he go for a solo kill here on the Madman?
He has the
damage,
right? But I think it actually okay. Not with Madman on strength boots and chinning up, so yeah, it's not enough damage at this point. But
bottom lane, Devour and Behemoth kind of going at it. Neither dying just yet. Behemoth doing some good tree jukes against the FA. Here comes the hook for Prisoner, pulling in the Glacius. Piercing arrows trying to thwart the pressure, but they end up killing both the Behemoth and Devour hooks Andromeda into the tower. Devour falls. Meanwhile, Prisoner eats a Lava Surge as Magnus ports down here with the portal key, and now Madman, he's trying to get a counter kill, but finding himself outnumbered. This was a 3-for-1 engagement here, favoring DB. As the Magnus portal key definitely impacting this fight. But how about Devo landing the hook in the tower and surviving, killing the Andromeda? That was nice to see.
Yeah, that was a very surprising kill because he did that on near nothing HP wise. I saw him walking away after that cheeky kill with just a sliver of HP. So yeah, I'm definitely seeing why they're starting to why people are banning this hero against this guy.
He's turning on Silhouette. She's making her way down bottom. Prisoner lines up a hook, following up the fissure stun. They kill Madman actually, so he gets locked down first. Now Magnus is body blocking with the portal key. Off to the side, we have Glacius going at it with Behemoth throwing out a freeze, but here comes Silhouette with the haster, and they take out Prisoner. And Behemoth now, I don't foresee him getting out of this one. He's got no TP. He's gonna have to do some wild juking here, but I don't think there's going to be any wild juking to be had. What happened with Silhouette? She dove the tier 2 tower?
She did, yeah.
What happened there?
So she tried to go on Andromeda. She had the haste rune, just decided that she was really, really confident and could get this kill on Andromeda, but she actually missed the tree grapple underneath the tower. No. Well, she got the tree grapple off, but she missed the, the flying dance. Whatever that's called.
Looks like she died with her shadow up too, so
yeah, didn't connect the stun and allowed Andromeda to stun her instead, and then Hag was ready, blinked in and bat blasted her off the map. So
did he just pour it into the bottom lane and get hooked? I missed that.
maybe. But,
Devo's 5-2 and 7. This is a 270 GPM second support devourer.
the way that
Very wild impacts here in game 2.
The way that Madman died there at the beginning of that engagement in the bot lane was because of a hook into the tower. So this guy's just landing hooks all day.
I wonder what his hook percentage is. We can't see it as spectators, but I gotta imagine it's pretty high, especially the ones that Glacius is setting up for him. Now, as I say that, Caster's Curse, of course, he hooks a creep, but I think there's plenty more to come here still in game 2. Madman and Silhouette going at it for the top rune. I'm not sure who got the rune. I think it was the refreshment one, the Merrick's rune. Who got the actual rune is the question. Oh, Magnus is invis right now. He's got the rune. Hook from downtown Bot River on Andromeda. Will this be enough damage for a kill? There's the 2-man line done from the Magnus with the portal key. Now Hag has her blink up in 1 more second. There's a hook from Prisoner catching the Devo. He will get brought down. Freeze comes out from the Glacius on the Behemoth as Silhouette is here with the tree. And Magnus comes in with a Surge. There's the Lotus taking him out. As the prison break gets broken by the shadow of Silhouette. Silhouette, can she avoid the hook here? She can. And now Magnus is in some trouble. He's going to go down. Glacius goes down as well. Can Silhouette get some return kills? A nice hatchet breaking the tree of Silhouette. And Doghouse survives. 3 players on very low life. A huge team fight swinging the momentum back a little bit into their favor as they survive on the big ones being Hag and Madman here.
Yeah, I mean, Hag and Madman still pretty comfortable, close to 400 GPM. See that Gnome's Wisdom finished on Hag. Sustainer purchased on Madman. Actually, he sells it so he can pot up before going into the top lane, but seems like he's showing his intent to go Cleaver this game. So looking for a longer form game so that he can get some supplement his farm with that hard farming item. But Silhouette hasn't really started anything major yet. You know, we see a finished Sackstone. I mean, okay, what you got? I mean, tell me why everybody 4 Sackstones on the Legion side. Like,
so Sackstone is a 1500 gold item, which upgrades your power supply. It gives you 8 stats to all attributes when not charged, and then gives you +2 stats when it is charged. So hold that thought. Devo gonna die here bottom lane. Piercing arrows doing a lot of damage. They take out the Behemoth. Will the fight continue as the port's coming in from DB? Magnus ports in with the portal key, stuns up the Prisoner. The Bats take out Glacius though, falls on an ultimate warrior streak. A great shadow disjoint on the Comet stun coming in from Puppet Soul as he's gonna tree grapple over to the Prisoner who gets swapped. Will they have the damage to bring him down as Andro sacrifices himself? They do, as Forsaken picks up a double tap, and all of a sudden a huge fight once again for DB, and they're looking to make it more. Oh, the Magnus Lava Surge. The blink from Hag avoids that stun, so he will be the survivor here in the bot lane. But to go back to your point about the Sackstone, when it is charged up, it is a Blessed Orb in stats for 1500 gold. That gives you the power supply effect with 10% increased healing. This item is just incredible as a build-up item. Pretty much on any hero outside of, you know, being a healing hero. You just get 10 stats to all attributes. It's crazy when it's charged up.
right, and I'm noticing when it's charged up reduces
Or 15% healing, sorry.
your death cooldown by 8 seconds. So.
Ah, I forgot that part too. Devo hits a hook down in the bot lane. Looks like he's getting countered on, but here comes the eruption from Magnus! Does he have mana for the Lava Surge? He does! He gets 2 kills! And now Andromeda, the only one to survive, just barely sidesteps the hook as the freeze comes out, and he will fall in the end. It's a legendary streak now for Forsaken, but we're starting to see the impact of this Magnus portal key, John. 460 gold per minute, setting up so many kills for his team.
Oh yeah, they're
sitting on
huge
2,000 gold as well.
440 GPM, the lowest core farmer of Silhouette on the side of Denava Brigada, and not a single hero is passing the 400 mark on Doghouse. So Doghouse kind of on the opposite ends of things, but they were found last game. So it's a 10k gold lead, Wig.
That's a pretty large lead here at 18 minutes. We'll see if they can continue with that lead, as you know, they do have some great scaling heroes. We talked about having the Silhouette and the Forsaken. Glacier's going to run into Hag here. Hag blink is still up. He is going to get swapped though. So they get the Glacius kill. Here comes the hook on the Devourer, though, or on the Behemoth, rather. He uses the Shockwave. The Bats, they use 2 big ultimates, Sean, on the Devourer. He holds his ground. He is going to fall, but now Hag has blinked in, and there's the Nullifier Blade tickling the mana of Wretched Hag. She blinks out into the trees. It looks like she'll be fine.
So what items do you go for if you're Silhouette in this spot?
I think he's gonna go Portal Key here. I think he could build like he's a carry, but they have Forsaken for that role. So I think getting the early Portal Key, he's had a fantastic start here. He's got multiple build-up items with a Bottle, a Sackstone, and a Knuckles, on top of having the Vestments. So I think a Portal Key would make a lot of sense here. Get him in range for those tree grapples, following up Magmus Lava Surges. And once he gets the Portal Key, he could look to build into some like more damage, maybe like a Nullfire Blade or something. Going up against heroes like the Prisoner and the Hag, I think the Nullfire Blade makes a lot of sense. Meanwhile, Magmus takes out the Madman with Glacius, and then we saw Prisoner fall in the mid lane to Silhouette.
Looks like he's not committing to the Portal Key yet, as he actually has 2,600 gold saved up and not purchasing an item in the well. So other ideas here in the head of Puppet Soul.
I know he's a big advocate of Thunderclaw Silhouette, so we might just see him right click a Thunderclaw when he gets gold. And I'll be honest with you, with the state of the game, I don't think it would be bad of him to go for like a damage assistant kind of farming item, because we've seen him already play so active without having anything at his disposal, right? Like he's just bought build-up items. He's been in 10 kills in 20 minutes. He's made great work around the map. So just kind of furthering his scaling potential would make a lot of sense. I know I mentioned Portal Key, but that doesn't mean he's kind of glued to going that kind of a build.
Yeah, and Magmus actually has a second Arcana. I saw him purchase it earlier, so he's going to be going...
And then Lava Surge. Let's see if the follow-up's here. He tries to line up the Tree Grapple. There's the swap, though, on the Madman. They do bring down Fa, who was on an Onslaught streak on the Wretched Hag. Meanwhile, in the background, Devourer gets hooked by the Prisoner. He goes down, and Andromeda goes down to the neutral creeps. A great deny coming in from Deuter. But Behemoth falls to the Forsaken Archer, and 3 players are dead for Doghouse. Only the Devourer fell here for Legion. Magmus goes in with another Lava Surge. He's going to get Prison Break pulled. The hook does miss, unfortunately, and Zuki falls to the Glacius. So they're going to even turn their attention toward the Ancients now.
Can Doghouse come back this spot? It seems like they're just getting crushed on all fronts.
I mean, they definitely have the heroes to make a comeback, but it's a long way away from the Behe Portal Key. The Madman, he's going for the Cleaver, which is more of a passive route. I think for good reason. Like, we can't really fault him for going for a Cleaver, but they're going to need big damage from Wretched Hag and a well-placed Shockwave for this to really line up as a comeback. And with the current momentum from DB, I feel like they're just really bringing the pressure to Doghouse here. They have the Forsaken and the Silhouette, which, you know, you could argue scale better than the Madman and the Hag. They're both these like really hard carry heroes that we've even seen play very aggressively early on here. But we can't really forget about the scaling power that these heroes bring.
This is true. Silhouette now has 4,000 gold saved up, and I think
Kevin's just pooling gold at this point. Really inexcusable, to be honest. I think you really wanted to spend that gold. I'm gonna if he pulls 4K and buys a Portal Key, I'm gonna mauled, but I don't think he's gonna do that. He's probably saving up for some big item like, I don't know, maybe Nullstone, Nullfire Blade, something. He's honestly probably just sitting there thinking about what he should go. We're gonna see a Shrunken Head. Okay. So he wanted the Shrunken Head the whole time. He's gonna go the defensive route.
Madness catches Prisoner. Silhouette gets canceled. Stunned by Behemoth. There he goes.
That's the Shrunken Head. He's gonna use the Shadow there. Pops the Shrunken. Not really the best Shrunken usage, I would say.
Yeah, Magnus is very close to Hellflower at this point.
There's a hook on the illusion silhouette. The tower is gonna fall here. Yes, they get it out with silhouette from the back line.
Yep, here is the finished Hellflower for Magnus, a huge item.
That's
mean,
a very big
is-
item pickup.
This is super
23-minute
different Magnus that
Hellflower.
we've seen. Usually, used to seeing these support Magnus picks, second support Magnus, but this is a farmed Magnus this game.
Yep, Magnus definitely, I feel like, maybe a contender with silhouette for the MVP hero so far of game 2, but I want to say Magnus has had just the game-breaking impact with that early portal key.
I feel like
Forsaken
Puppet
finished her
Soul-
Shrunken, by the way.
What I've seen from Puppet Soul, and the way that he kind of baited out this aggression from Wretched Hag in the mid lane early on, really slowed down Wretched Hag's ability to snowball in the game as he would have liked. So, like you said, certainly a contender for MVP as well.
What about the Devo hooks? Did we give him a contender vote too?
I mean, might as well, right? all
We'll just
playing
throw
pretty
everyone
well.
on the list while we're at it. By the way, Kongor being done by Doghouse, they had the whole team there for that. Madman does have the cleaver, so again, they're not necessarily out of the game just yet. Behe needs another 700 gold for portal key. He's fighting with this vagabond leader. Janko's not too happy about that, but Madman cleans it up. Like Hag's about to finish her Grimoire.
And I wonder if we're going to see the PK on Silhouette after the Shrunken Head, now that he's got 2,000 gold pulled up.
I feel like we should be seeing a portal key at some point. Got a double damage rune currently in his bottle. We see some high ground damage being done in the top lane. They have a lot of the core items being picked up now. The Hellflower we talked about, the Shrunken, double Shrunken. Even Glacius has a portal key. Haven't really talked too much about him, but he's got 7 kills and 13 assists here.
Yeah, okay. That's a big surprise to me as well. Didn't see that portal key on Glacius coming until just now after you mentioned it. Fireburn picked up on FA. Could be going towards that Geo's Bane.
Good item for her this game against the Prisoner and the Hag, being able to purge off some debuffs. As well as just provide split pushing.
Slow down considerably this. I'm actually surprised to see that, you know, Denava Brigada is not going for their own comp.
He's
like
got gold for portal key. There we go. Just need to get him a tome, get him level 11, and we'll see if he can get a big shockwave here.
Yeah, finishing out or getting level 4 on heavyweight and level 2 shockwave will be crucial for him. And you know, Doghouse making this an interesting game. They are far behind right now, but honestly, the potential for comeback is real. They actually have really good high ground defense between Bat Blast and Shockwave. So, and even the Nether Swap, right? The Void Rip on Andromeda could, you know, if a key hero wanders too close to their tier 3 tower, could get swapped into a really bad position and lights out, you know.
Yep. Silva goes portal key. I think we'll see him build into some kind of damage item next. I do still think it will be a Nullfire Blade, but we'll see. We'll see what Puppet Soul decides to go for.
I like
Hook
Nullfire
on the
Blade this
Madman,
hero.
by the way. There's the fissure to stop it. No counter pressure from either side.
Where do you go if you're D.Va? So this is a
I think
got
it's
a
a
mana
Jade
tube
Spire.
hero.
It's either a Storm Spirit or a Jade Spire, and I'm probably thinking it's a Jade Spire.
Yeah, probably. a Jade
Would
Spire.
allow him to throw hooks a little bit more frequently. He doesn't have a lot of mana regen. He does have the Glacius Aura, but it's currently only 1 mana per second.
Uh-oh, Wretched Hag. Here it comes.
actually. Don't use the eruption, but they don't need it because they have the health flower for Magnus. The lockdown was there, double damage. Silhouette comes in, throwing some auto attacks.
So now that I'm surprised to see them not all go. Forsaken Archer has to be really careful here.
Obi, he's going in with the solo shockwave. There's the hook though from Devo. Can it save his life is the question. There's the swap from Andromeda trying to keep Forsaken in range. He's just gonna sacrifice himself. He gets caught by the Lava Surge here. Silhouette gets another kill. That was so close to being a kill on the Forsaken Archer.
It was, and it's actually a crucial kill that was evaded because now they burned Shockwave to get it, and they're not going to have that for high ground defense.
I'm calling it now. If somebody bought Bihi Tome and that was a level 2 Shockwave, that was a kill. I blame Bihi's teammates. They didn't want to buy him Tome.
They made. I mean, is it possible? Is it possible that they had none in the shop?
I don't think so, actually. I think they had to have had a Tome. Prison Break comes out. We're gonna see the bats do a lot of damage though. Forsaken very low. She's gonna get killed by the prisoner hook as well as the who was it? The Devo. Double tap comes out for Snooki. And now we see Puppet Soul goes down on the Silhouette, so this was one buyback on the prisoner. They hold the base, they don't lose the melee racks, and they get 3 kills. Magma's forced to fall back. And look at how low that Rax was, John. It's gonna start to slowly regen up.
That was a massive bat blast, though, to start that team fight off.
It was.
Not sure if you noticed just how big it was. I think it connected onto 3 heroes.
Level 3 bats with Grimoire of Power, definitely putting in work there, as they were able to bring down the Forsaken.
So, 3k gold now on Magnus. Wonder if he's going to be going into Sheepstick or maybe something a little bit more formidable as a battle hero. Something like a Frostfield could be pretty cool to see.
I would like to see him kind of just transition into like a, not to say like a support, but I feel like a Storm Spirit would be pretty good for them. Alternatively, he could go into items like Shrunken and Demonic.
Gets caught.
Like you talked about a battle Magnus, like a demonic Shrunken is always a good follow-up on a Magnus. Freeze on the Madman. There's the swap though, getting him out of those piercing arrows. Doghouse doesn't feel like they're down by 18,000 gold. Definitely feels a lot closer, I think, than the scoreboard up there at the top. The resource mark says. What a hook from Devo. He pulls Prisoner across the river. There's the Shockwave from Behemoth, catches the Silhouette. He still has the Shrunken Head. He's gonna get eaten with the bats, and the bats don't care about Shrunken Head. He didn't get it off at all. And Doghouse is somehow bringing the pressure back to Dawnova. Glacia's gonna fall behind the tower here. Forsaken all of a sudden is all alone. Can she hold the ground? She will bring down the Richard Hack and the Andromeda. Madman, the only one alive now, so Forsaken makes the last stand here. She denies the tower. Madman needs to be careful. He's currently out of mana. Does avoid the crippling volley, but what was an amazing fight from Doghouse. They overextend, giving Forsaken 2 more kills. Looks like Glacius wants his eye back. It did fall, and Madman did pick that one up. Oh, there you are. I thought we lost you for a sec.
Oh, did I get disconnected?
Madman actually gets caught by the Magnus.
Madman, yeah.
That was a double damage Forsaken.
Yeah, that is what's surprising to me is, you know, DB is ahead by so much, but Doghouse just playing with confidence still. And that's actually what I love to see, you know, just this tenacity no matter what.
Look on the Forsaken. There's a Line Stun from the Magnus. He gets caught in no man's land. They're going to bring him down, but Prisoner getting returned on. Now, Madman going to purge off the crippling volley, immobilize. Buyback comes in from the Magnus. He does not have post haste, but he's running back to the fight. Looks like they want to maybe take the objective. They're running over to the Kong War. Silhouette with 3,000 gold. We'll see what he goes for here. I'm still leaning toward a Nullfire Blade, but
Yeah, I think you're right.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a number of different items on the Silhouette.
I think Geos could work too. But
It might be just a tiny bit worse than the Nullfire Blade, but kind of a similar purpose.
I'm still Nullfire favored. I think
Is that
I
at
go
that point you're
Nullfire.
giving Behe more shockwave damage? Possibly.
That's true. Do you want to see an Arcane Bomb picked up by, say, Andromeda on the Hellborn side, just because of Silhouette?
Yeah, I think Arcane Bomb. I think for Hellborn is a bit more impactful, right? They have the Forsaken Geobane as well, and then the Silhouette with the Shadow. I think there's a good debate for an Arcane Bomb. Maybe even the Behemoth could pick one up.
Nightman doing a really good job of just kind of playing away from the Legion side, putting pressure on this top tier tower. But Legion just eyeing down this tier 3 bottom tower rather.
Here's the Jade Spire finished by Devo. He did miss the hook there, but if he lands one, could be a quick kill, pulling someone into 5. We're gonna see Mass DPs back to defend the top tier 2. Badman already fell back, so was feeling like something was maybe up. I think he's trying to get closer to his Shrunken. He needs 1,200 more gold. He's getting close.
This is almost 5k gold saved up on Silo.
They're gonna use the Bound Eye. So the Devo hook actually gave them the heads up that there was a ward on that cliff.
Wait, on what cliff? I'm sorry, I missed this.
The entrance to Hellborn's jungle by mid tier 1 tower. They countered a ward with the Bound Eye.
Symbol of Rage finished on Forsaken Archer. I mean, what is
That's gonna be hard to
Silhouette
bring him down.
holding 5k gold for? I don't understand.
Yeah, he did this earlier too, and then he pulled a straight Shrunken, which, to be honest, I wasn't really a big fan of. I feel like he could have went much greedier than first item Shrunken Head. Yeah, I almost want to say that first item Shrunken kind of slowed down his momentum. I don't know if you would necessarily agree with that, because the Shrunken allows him to play more aggressive, but I don't know, it didn't feel like when he picked up that Shrunken that it really changed much.
Well, especially because he went Portal Key after the Shrunken.
Yeah.
Right, so I mean, it felt like a very slow Shrunken Head. You know, even after he got it, he wasn't able to make the most of it. But we see that he picks up a Hellflower here.
Yep,
Picks it up front base,
making
swaps
very
in.
good use of that item. Now Bound Eye on the Madman. He's gonna probably swap out here any second. There we go. You're gonna purge the illusion. There's the eat from Devo with the Jade Spire. Looks so funny with the extra range, but Magnus now finding himself in trouble as he gets turned on, and because they didn't have the Forsaken and the Glacius here, they take out the Kongor, get the token. So almost like DB's doing kind of two different things here, but here's FA now. We'll see what she can bring as she is purging the Wretched Hag's mana pool with the Nullfire Blade. He's gonna have enough to blink away, so he will be fine.
Link's really close to Silhouette.
Silhouette. Oh, he's gonna try to go for the TP. He does. A very heads up TP coming out from Fa. He recognized he was in trouble if he kept running. Very good presence of mind to use the port there. A token of life Forsaken Archer, John. Can Doghouse hold this? Is the ultimate question. They're gonna, looks like, lose their melee racks here. Will it only be one Rax, or can DB turn this into something more?
I think that they're probably gonna run away after getting the one. I mean, Behemoth was up with Prisoner and Wretched Hag, so better to not play risky, especially whenever you have such a lead.
Madman
24,000
going
gold.
for Silhouette here. She does have her Shadow, but no portal keys. Being attacked currently.
Madman is starting to claw his way back, almost 500 GPM, but Forsaken's such a monstrous presence still. Almost 700 GPM. has that token still for another minute and a half, and this is a team fight that's going to happen outside of the base. She's got double damage.
Look, on the prisoner from Devour. He's getting his eat canceled. There's the swap on the prisoner, but he eats a full eruption. And now Andromeda's battling Glacius in the background. Devo chasing onto Wretched Hag, who's Hellflowered from the Magmus. The GGs are called. Doghouse cannot make the comeback, they say, as they take a bad team fight there at the end, but ultimately